Stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. What's going on? It's your boy Crypto Blood. I wish I had my soundboard. I got to get that back going, man. God, I got to figure out how to use that with StreamYard. But hope everyone's doing well today. Let me fade this music down a little bit, but we've got two guests on tonight. Rice Crypto might jump in here. We'll see. But hope everyone's doing well today. I'm stacking my coins. I hope you are as well. So tonight I do have Alan Hana. I always enjoy him coming on. Contrarian, always arguing with me. I love it. I love it. And my man, Space Black, that's Black Money, is in the building as well. We might have Rice Crypto come in. 10 Pound might join at some point in the live stream as well. So sit back and enjoy. Let's get these guys in here real quick. Alan, what's good, what's brother? Up? How are you?
What's up, man?
How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, and we got Black Money in the house.
What's up, man? How you doing today?
What's going on, brother? So we last were on, what was it, New Year's, right? January 1st?
Was it? Okay. I don't remember.
So.
It was because we were doing a lot of predictions.
Yeah. So I know, Alan, you were talking about like how 2020 wasn't too bad for you. Ended up being a good year for you, and and you didn't want to. Yeah, you didn't want to sound, insensitive, which we know you are. But how are things so far, man? We're just 18 days in. We had the storm of the Capitol. There's a lot of crazy storming of the Capitol happened. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on to start off 2021. But what's going on your end, man?
Man, I'm just looking at the markets, playing the markets, diversifying. That's really been my focus. Like, I don't swing trade. I definitely don't day trading, but I just look for the right spots. I got my long positions, and then really I just been looking at a lot of NFTs lately. And just trying to identify like what NFTs are going to have value. To me, when people talk about store value, I can see an NFT doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so there's art, there's collectibles. I've been spending a lot of time looking at that, and on Twitter, giving people some crap, arguing about with some Bitcoin maxis and all that stuff. They don't make any sense. I actually try to call out what's this guy, and he's doing good. Look, I got nothing against him. He's bringing people into crypto. What's Bitcoin's A or something like that?
What's his name?
Bitcoin Zay or something like that.
Oh, my man, come on, hold on, bro.
Hey man, hold on.
Wait a minute. Them the guys, man. Them the guys, bro.
Look, he's doing good, but the thing is this. I said,
did you see him on CNBC?
Yeah, and that's great. I'm not knocking that. No, I know. Come on. What I'm saying is, I was like, you only talk about Bitcoin. So if you trying to bring, crypto to a demographic, I'm gonna need you to just spread it out a little bit. Else, to me, you just pumping your bags. That's all I'm saying. So if you need to have a broader sort of scope, divert. But that's, what? He's built up his brand. He's built up his message. He can do that. So if I want to do something else, I got to counter that and work on that myself. So I ain't mad at him, but I try to,
there you go. There you go, guys. Alan going in. Black Money, what is your thoughts on Bitcoin Zay's approach to talking about Bitcoin and crypto? Well, I don't know, man. He talks about other coins on his show. You got to check out his show, Alan.
Yeah, I may hear him talk about Bitcoin, but I'm not gonna go the Allen route. As long as he's getting people, as long as he's getting people interested in crypto.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that though. I really do. Like,
hey, Alan, JJ said sipping that haterade, brother.
No,
I don't think
I
Alan
celebrate the brother.
No, yeah,
Just
no, I don't
be 100% clear, man. I'm 100% celebrating his success. I'm not hating on it.
No, I don't think he is.
It's nothing like that. It's just like I don't want people to coming into this space with blinders. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
So tonight, ladies and gents, we got a couple great articles, topics we're going to talk about, and we'll talk about that very thing with that the bit short, kind of going off the big short play. It's an article. It's almost like a op-ed, in my opinion. It was written on, I think, Medium, but we'll take a look at that. I'll drop that in the chat room for you guys. A long ass read. So you're not gonna be able to peruse through it right now. Yeah, I read it too. I read it too, and we'll get into the details on that in regards to kind of. I'm saying all that to say this article kind of supports your theory that Bitcoin only people are going to hurt new adopters, newcomers. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. But back to you, Black Money. Your take on Bitcoin Zay and what he's doing in the space.
Yeah, if he's getting people interested in crypto, like you said, he's been on CNBC, and I think I saw him on Boyce Watkins like a couple of days ago too. So if somebody's not familiar with the space and this is their first time hearing about something, I'd rather them hear about Bitcoin than to hear about Bitcoin Cash or one of these other off-brand forks that nobody cares about. So I'll celebrate them right now.
I'm always celebrate them. Let's be clear.
I did read a couple of your tweets and I was just laughing like, oh man, I'm not even gonna start posting. You said he's doing black people a disservice by just giving them Bitcoin.
Hey, that's how I feel though.
Oh man, okay, why is that? This is not a listen. We're not here live streaming talking about Bitcoin Zay tonight, but since we're
not gonna be here, and I don't want it to turn into that. You know, like I'd rather him be here and then we can just conversate about it. But my whole point is like. You bringing new people into the space. I meet with people personally. When people ask me on Facebook, I don't tell them, hey, only look at Bitcoin. I tell them about, everything that's going on. And I say, the best thing you can do before you invest your money is to invest your time. And you need to go explore. And there's YouTube, there's Twitter, and you'll find your place and try to better understand. Don't just let somebody tell you. Don't be a follower. You got to come into this space and try to, figure out what makes sense to you.
So Scott, man, makes a good point though, Alan. Promoting altcoins is pumping your bags too.
But there's a billion altcoins. That doesn't even make. I mean, there's like what 6,000 coins. I didn't tell him, hey, I want you to talk about XRP or Ethereum. I didn't say that. I said if you were only telling people about one coin and it's Bitcoin, because really only Bitcoin maximalists. I mean, I'm sure there's some ETH maximalists, but not that many. But my whole point is like you need to talk broadly about crypto. It's not telling them what to buy. It's just like there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, there's Bitcoin Cash, there's Litecoin. I don't even own some of these coins, so I'm just naming them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about pump. You can't just say pumpkin. Not if you talk about anything else, you're pumping altcoin bags. There's like 5,000 different coins.
I think my whole thing about the how Bitcoin Zay's approach to it, like I think we all have our place in crypto, right? Yeah. And so I think what he's doing is a very niche, targeted agenda because it's overwhelming, bro. Like I think we talked about this before, maybe not on the last live stream, but definitely on Mike's Rethinking the Dollar live stream. Like people don't understand the concept of money. So if you just jump them directly into a whole new asset class, are they really going to grasp the whole point of it? Are they even going, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take baby steps.
Not really though. Think about it like this. If you're trying to convince people that something other than their money can be money, why would you try to tell them that only Bitcoin can be money? You see what I'm saying? Like that doesn't flow with. To me, you should go to say, look, this is your current money. This is the US dollar. You can explain that. Now there's a multitude of other coins out there that are doing this. Some do that, some do this, some do this. But if you come to them and say, hey, there's only one coin for you, and this is the only money that there is, I mean, that's just doing them a disservice, because I mean, he was focused on, the Black community, and it's just like, okay, you're going to bring them in and you want them to be knowledgeable, but you're bringing them in with blinders on. You want to bring people into the space asking questions and being open to everything. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get all coin bags and all this. Notice I haven't named any other coins to say he should have said this. Should you just take a broader approach?
Maybe since we are talking about the Black community, he's thinking about something that's going to be sure about for a long term, because we all know if you tell any Black person, hey, do this, and it goes south, they're going to be back at your door.
Would you agree, Alan, that Bitcoin is, of this whole speculative asset class, this is highly speculative, people, but would you say Bitcoin is the safest of? No. Wow.
No.
Okay.
No. And I've had this debate with a lot of people. I think safe is how you want to look at it, right? If you want to talk about purely, and so this is the ironic thing about crypto a lot of times, is that they talk about it's safest because they focus on the USD price. But ultimately, if you really about that crypto ethos and that sort of mission, you less are focused on the price. You're more focused on the build out and the utility and the growing of whatever coin that you like, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever. How's that adoption looking? How's this? How's that? But if you're not doing, like he said it himself, actually, on when he was on CNBC, he's like, I'm not as worried about, people always, and he made a good point, that he's not as worried about the volatility of Bitcoin because, he's not worried about USD, right? So, if your priority is just price, sure, it is. But let me ask you this. What makes Bitcoin any safer than Ethereum or Litecoin? I mean, if you put price aside, what makes it any safer? Do you think Ethereum's going away? No, it's not. The community is massive.
I think from a price volatility perspective, definitely Bitcoin is safer. If you just look at price vol and price action over time and the market cap, right? So it has the largest market cap. So typically an asset that has the largest market cap is going to have the least amount of volatility. That's just how markets typically end up working, right? Capital pools into those asset class or those assets that don't move as much as the other ones, right?
Yeah. So
that's what I guess I'm talking about it from a price volatility perspective. I think Bitcoin is the safest play in a wild way. I mean, this is all gambling to me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's highly speculative right now.
This is a debate me and my friends have all the time. If your only measure is downside volatility, then yes, Bitcoin's going to win that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll take any bet that Bitcoin is outperformed by Ethereum, for example.
Oh, for sure.
Over the next 12 months.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're in a bull market, you can pick a lot of other coins, and I'm not here to pump those coins. My point is that the only sort of safe, when you talk about safe, you must be talking about downside volatility, in that in a bear market, Bitcoin is only going to drop 80% compared to 90%. So you're talking about a 10%, 15% delta, if that's like your main concern. But to me, that really gets away from the entire ethos of what we're trying to do in crypto, which is really pivot people's mind around money and how they think about it and what is money and how do they use money. I always say the unit of account is a final boss. We focus on store value and medium of exchange, but unit of account, how you price things, is the final boss. And if you really want to keep it real, Ethereum's probably doing the best job because they got all these other things where you go onto their network and things are priced in ETH all the time.
Oh, here we go. Alan shilling that ETH again. I'm
just giving an example. You could go on EOS. Hold on. Now listen, I ain't never used EOS, but how's the
and we're gonna talk about EOS. We're gonna talk about EOS real quick.
All right, go ahead.
You mentioned it's not really a direct topic, but you mentioned NFTs, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe I don't know if you saw on my Twitter.
No,
we're doing over at EOS Detroit. I'm gang. That's my squad.
Okay.
EOS Detroit.
All right. I didn't know they had an EOS Detroit. That's good to know.
Oh yeah. I'm managing director over there now.
So, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So what we're doing though, you say you're in the NFTs. You need to take a look at Wax, man. Wax is, I think, a very good. Let me cancel this. I don't know what it's a very good platform for NFTs, for gaming and all that. So we're doing a promo right now.
Okay.
So just check out my Twitter account and enter to win 2021 Wax tokens. Get your feet wet in the Wax ecosystem.
I will. Listen, I'm going to tell you that there's been so many times that I see random stuff and then like 6 months later, you like, dang, everybody on that, and I've seen it even on just certain NFTs or certain things like my logo on Twitter is a crypto punk. I've seen
I saw that
for like a year, right? I saw those things for like a year. I didn't even know the story or the history behind them. And when I looked, I was so mad because of what they're selling at now. I was pissed. So
yeah.
So
check it out, man.
No, I will.
Yeah,
next time
because we're giving away. We're giving away some collectibles. So we got we're giving away some Wax tokens, but we're also giving away some NFTs as well. So yeah, just check that. I just wanted to drop that on you. But where do we start, gentlemen? We had a couple good topics. I'll let you guys pick.
We might as well start this super long saga of an article. So
bro,
get it done.
All right, so what Black Money is talking about, ladies and gents, is an article. Like I said, it's almost like an op-ed. This joint is long as hell, but it is about this guy that allegedly bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin early this year, right? And he's like, I made a life-changing decision. I saw that the money, what did it say? I highlighted here. He said in March 2020, he bought a large amount of Bitcoin. At the time, he saw the market dislocation and likelihood of significant dollar inflation due to the U.S. government likely response to unfolding pandemic situation. So, what was your take on this, Alan, as far as what he tried to do here, guys? I need to sum it up for you, though. But essentially, he's saying that Tether is the reason why we're seeing this Bitcoin pump. I've heard this so many times in the past, and I actually started reading this article like, here we go again. Another Tether theory. But no, I read the whole thing, bro, and as I got lower and lower, I'm like, ooh, maybe some truth to this, man.
Yeah, well, so my thing about the whole Tether, so you remember Bitfinex, right? You remember that Twitter account? I think he's actually still around, and he used to sit there and just talk about Tether all the time. Tether FUD is always around, is always going to be here, and I think that's my issue. Like the article is like, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. Honestly, it's really all irrelevant to me. Like there's two facts, and it's really only the facts that matter. One, Tether has already said that they're not backed 1-to-1 with the dollars. Like they already said
that's already known. Yes,
that's already known. So we already know
they're back 70%. Allegedly,
back then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We already know that USDT is fractionalized. Right? Fractional reserve. Like we already know that.
But the thing is, Alan, when that news came out, because of the New York Attorney General had like kind of exposed that. When that news came out, I was defending Tether. I'm like, well, damn, that's good news. If it's 70% back, what other asset do you know that's 70% back?
Yeah, because the banks mighty, they don't even have, right now they changed the law. They don't have to do 1%. It's like 0% now.
Oh my god. So hey,
no, the CARES Act, the CARES Act did that, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The CARES Act changed it so that banks can, I'm pretty sure that banks, or maybe only certain kind of banks, can lend money with 0% in reserve. So if you're a primary dealer bank or you have a connection to a primary dealer bank, and the primary dealer banks are pretty much what they're the money movers in the economy. If you look at them, they can just create money, right? So yeah, Tether's better than whatever the hell the banks are doing. So
yep, they are.
Ultimately, well, my first point is we know that that's not the case. They're not backed 1-to-1. All right. Well, that's baked into the market because we knew that 3 years ago.
Yep.
And then the other thing is Tether refuses to be transparent, whether it's the SEC or this acronym, whatever. The point is Tether refuses to be transparent. So to me, if you've been doing this for 45 years, this whole Tether USDT, and you just cannot be transparent about your operations, I don't care if you're in the United States or not. It's not about being bullied by the United States. If you don't want to be transparent, then there's something shady going on. Now, it's for the market to decide whether they want to deal with that, right? If the market doesn't want to deal with that, or they don't want to store or use USDT, the market at some point is going to come out. But I don't personally think I think Tether's is a bunch of nonsense. I think it's a bunch of BS. I don't think it's backed at all. I think there's a bunch of shady stuff going on.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Alan, come on, man. You just said it was 70% backed.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with Alan
but on their web, but the point is they're bringing money that's getting a 1-to-1 peg in crypto, right? So, or very close to it. It might be 99 cents or $1 or $1, whatever. The whole point is we know that that's not backed already because they already said it wasn't, and they can't be transparent about it. So the market is not really pricing that in, or it doesn't care. No, that's just what it is. The article really to me is irrelevant. Either people care about them not being transparent. I think they're shady, so there's advantages to that. Here's one advantage. This is the way my mind works. You can go on Aave and say you're long WBTC or Ethereum or whatever. You want to lock it up, borrow it in Tether, because maybe that thing will crash, right? And then if you borrow the Tether and it crash and the rate is right, that's one way you could do it, or on Cream or bank somewhere where you can borrow Tethers. That's the way I would look at it. Play it to your advantage, right? That's how I look at it.
Black money.
I've never really used Tether because my on-ramp has always been Coinbase Pro for the most part. Okay. I've used USDC to hold for like the percentage just to on standby.
Coinbases, Yep.
Yeah. So I believe they're probably shady. And actually, the more bogus they are, wouldn't that make it more like the US dollar?
Not really. No, because it's a derivative of a derivative. And so their derivative is at least 70% backed by
it's backed by nothing anyway. So the
70% of nothing is nothing. Okay, so I got you. I got you. No, but what I want to mention though in this article, that as I begin to read through it, is a long article, but what he pretty much spells out is that most of the inflows from the three biggest he calls them unbanked exchanges, which is, I believe, Binance, he calls it, BitZ, and Hit BTC. Hit BTC is horrible. They are shady as hell, but he's basically saying that they constitute most of the volume on Tether. And he's basically saying that this investigation that the New York Attorney General's office has still open with Tether. I knew they were still open, but I didn't know what was going on. But he basically, in this article, he says from the beginning of the official investigation on April 25th through July 9th of 2020, a period of nearly 15 months, Tether Ltd issues a series of legal challenges to the investigation that appears to delay the response time for document requests by the OAG. And then it says in July of 2020, the New York Supreme Court dismisses Tether's final challenge on appeal, effectively forcing Tether Ltd to comply with the OAG's document request. And so what he's showing here on the screen, as you guys can see, basically every time you saw an increase in money printing from Tether, it was around these trial dates. So April 25th, there was a bump. As you guys see, the first arrow there, I'm zooming in. That first arrow is April 29th. That was the first interaction with the OAG. And then the second was July 9th, 2020. This was the second arrow. That date was New York's court ruling forcing Tether to begin the process of disclosing its documents to the OAG, as you guys can see there, second. So, I don't know, man.
It's bogus, man.
He's basically saying, ladies and gents, that Tether is printing money to basically try to extract as much wealth from the crypto markets before Judgment Day by the SEC or whatever. What are your thoughts on that scenario? You think that's a realistic one? You think that's probably what's going on?
I think it's possible that they could be doing that. Also, so this is the thing. You got that. But on the flip side, you got Grayscale, which is breaking records. They're not messing with that. So somebody is like, so we're in a bull market, right? Everyone's pretty much agrees we're in some sort of a bull market. So we're in a bull market right now. Then there could be a legitimate reason for them to do that. Or maybe it's a mix of legitimate, hey, we got in 100 million, we're going to print 250, something like that. So it could be something along those lines that it's a mix of legit money coming in and them just printing extra to do whatever they're doing with. But we do know that Grayscale, we do know that all these companies, Mass Mutual and Paul Tudor Jones and all these people have come out and say that they're buying Bitcoin and crypto and all this stuff, right? So I'll put it like this: if they're running a scam, they're running it in the right spot. And I only worry about what's the worst case? I make my decision on like something like this is like worst case. Worst case, Tether gets dropped to zero, or there's some sort of black swan, or it gets realized and tethered, and then the third, it's the highest volume coin. Probably, I'd say for the last year on a daily, it's the highest volume coin normally. I think we can agree on that.
Yep.
Just drops out. It would drop the market, probably go for a good 50% cut, but it wouldn't end crypto.
No, it wouldn't end crypto. But I guess the question that I'm posing tonight is Tether adding a premium to the price of Bitcoin? If you take Tether out of the market, Bitcoin's price will come down significantly.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Black Money?
I believe so. I also believe if Tether gets eliminated or reduced, it'll just displace where that money is going. It'll be in one of these other dollar stable coins, GUSD, USDC, something like that. It won't kill the market. We might have a dip for a while, and it'll be a wonderful buying opportunity for people who got stuff on hold, but it's not going to ruin us. We'll be back.
But what happens in a scenario where we saw with XRP, right? They're suing Ripple for issuing an unregistered security. What happens if in some form or fashion, I don't know if that would be the case for the OAG. I don't think they're looking at it as a security. I don't know what their issue is with Tether. I'm not sure, but it's not to be the reason because it's a security. It's not a security.
Right.
So whatever judgment comes about, what happens? Is it just a fine, or do you think they're going to say, you can't use Tether in the United States?
Well, they don't really, though. Coinbase doesn't use it. That's mentioned in the article. No United States entity actually uses Tether on the exchange.
Right.
So it's really a non-factor.
But wait, is it a non-factor? Because remember the article talked about, Coinbase doesn't use it or any other U.S. exchange, but the top three big heavy hitters in the game, Binance, BitZ, and BTC, which constitute most of the volume for Bitcoin's trading, uses Tether. Yeah. And all these Bybit and all these, trading platforms.
Right. No, it'll be, what I'm saying is, it's a non-factor as far as from a criminal fine perspective, I think. Market's going to react. Like I already said, 50% incoming, quick. Okay. I mean, the market's going to cut down real quick. It'll be a black swan or some sort of major catastrophe, right? So it's going to get dropped real quick. It'll affect all the markets. But as far as, I don't know, OAG or whoever, if their reach can extend to where Tether is domiciled, where it operates its businesses, and because none of it is the United States. So I don't know how that works.
And that's been the delay, I think, with their whole situation. Like, on top of that, it's only New York going after them. So the capital of, you know, the money cartel.
New York always going after.
Yeah, of course. You know, got to protect Wall Street, right? So yeah, you guys let us know in the comments. Do you think what will happen if Tether gets issued some type of cease and desist? I don't know what that looks like. I don't, like you said, most of the action is not even over here.
Don't
to be honest,
those exchanges have like their own USD version? I know, like Binance.
USDC.
BUSD is for Binance.
Binance, right?
Yeah.
USDC
So there's
is for Coinbase. I'm not sure. KuCoin has KCS or something like that.
There's SUSD, which is synthetic dollar, which is backed by Ethereum. It's sort of like DAI. DAI is another one, but DAI itself is also backed not only by Ethereum but also backed by USDC. I think like 10%. So there's stable coins in the market. It'll just sort of shift. Like I think it was somebody said that it would just shift around. Like instead of going to USDT for any legit purposes, people will just turn around and go to.
But the issue though is, in order to shift, it has to be an exchange. So if nobody wants Tether anymore, you can't exchange that USDT for another stable coin because no one wants to buy it from you.
Exactly.
So what happens?
It just crashes. Like if you hold the USDT.
So do you lose will you actually lose? Do you see USDT going to like a 10 cent or something crazy?
I do.
Okay. I can see that as well.
I don't know when, but I think it will happen. I think they're shady. I think they're shady as hell. And if you're not willing to Circle, which is behind USDC.
Yep.
They have to be like, we got these dollars in to issue this USDC, right? And they're just like, boom, boom. And then like, that's the standard they're held to. DAI, we know how DAI works, right? So DAI is backed by, it was backed by just the over collateralization of Ethereum. Now it's the over collateralization of Ethereum plus some USDC. So we know how that works, and we can see that that's all on chain. We know how synthetics dollar works, right? That's backed by I think like 700% over collateralization of Ethereum, right? So we know how that works. We don't know how BUSD works. The point is, there's a lot of transparency around how all the other stable coins work, right? They may not be perfect, but we know how they work. We don't know anything about Tether. So it's definitely some nonsense going on there.
Well, 100%. One thing that I disagree with my man in this article, and then he kind of follows up and says that this may be the scenario, which I think it is. So he was like pointing out in this graph that every time there was an uptick in number of USDT tokens, we saw Bitcoin move up as well. But I think he's got that. I think he's got it backwards. I think it's this scenario which he states at the bottom under. He says that Tether's rise was being caused by Bitcoin's demand. I think that's what it is. People say, oh, Tether's printing another $100 million worth of Tether coins, about to see a Bitcoin pump. Well, yeah, you're about to see a Bitcoin pump because people, it's a demand pull. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it's Bitcoin that's making them print more because people want to either buy or sell into that. It's
possible. What's so hard about just being transparent, man? It's kind of like,
so the 70%. So the audit they did back in 2000, early 19, that wasn't sufficient.
No, come on,
that wasn't sufficient for you.
That was nonsense. Okay, it's nonsense. How hard? Why? Listen, like I said, USDC, they got this standard. We know how DAI works. We know how SUSD works. We all these other stable coins, we know the mechanisms for how they work and why they work. We don't really know anything about Tether. So
now, one thing I need to mention to the audience, and I'm assuming you know this, Alan. and this can actually be done on USDT as well, but it has been done on USDC. They've actually frozen accounts. They have the ability to freeze accounts whenever at their leisure. So keep that in mind. It is possible with USDT. I think it was only done once on some type of exchange hack.
I think it was the KuCoin hack. I think it was a KuCoin
but
hack.
on USDC, they did it on some IRS money laundering, they thought, and they froze those addresses. So be careful. Well, DAI is better, I think. Yeah. Right.
But you can do that with any off ramp. You can do that with any off ramp in the United States. If they want to freeze something, you just have to stay in cryptocurrency because you're not going to get out through Coinbase because the IRS will just say, "Hey, this."
No, but Black Money, they actually froze the USDC Ether wallet.
Right. No. What they did was they not so much the wallet, because they don't tell people their wallets can get frozen. They froze the coins. They stopped the coins on a specific address. That's different than stopping the wallet. I just don't.
They stopped the coin, the ERC20 or ERC20 USDC contract. Basically, wouldn't allow them to move those coins anymore. So,
oh man, that's not good.
Be careful out there, ladies and gents.
Hold on. Let me make one point. You can trade to USDT if you just like, hey, I'm gonna sell, chain link in the USDT, and then I'm gonna transfer it here like in a minute or an hour. That's fine. But if you just got USDT just sitting in your wallet, nah, I'm not doing that. Nope, don't do that. That's different. Don't do that. Yeah.
I just started using USDT earlier today. I would say 8 hours ago, they launched the KuCoin bot, and I'm using USDT today to trade.
Okay.
But it's doing like hundreds of trades today. So, but that's because I had no other choice. There wasn't another pair for that coin that I wanted to trade.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. So what we got next, gentlemen?
What was on the list? There was something about, is it too late? Is it too late? Everybody's favorite question. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Is it too late to buy this?
Yeah. I know. I pretty much know what you think. The next article.
Hold on. What do I think?
Huh?
What do I think?
You think it's not too late because Bitcoin is going to zero.
No. First of all, let me tell you something. No. I never said that. I never said that. What I said was, I don't think where Bitcoin is, and I've been saying this on Twitter. Bitcoin is edging itself every month closer to being an NFT, a collectible. Okay. Hold on, man.
No, it's fun. It's fungible, bro. That don't even make sense.
I know, but I've seen people talking about it. What's that lady? She's Melton Demir's even said it. She even said it. She said something like, she was kind of joking, but I've seen people start even say it, like mention it in passing, because you can't really use it as money. And NFTs and collectibles are stores of value as well. So I don't ever think Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Okay. I think it's all because it's the first cryptocurrency. It's always going to have value. Some people are always going to want to own some regardless.
But Alan, it can't be an NFT because it's fungible.
I know look, I'm just saying it's going to be a collectible on Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't really do anything, so they can't even have it. Okay. Man. So that's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Black Money, man. He's going in on us. He's going in on us.
I understand what he's saying, but I don't think it's just not gonna be a collectible. Everybody loves Bitcoin, and I just proved your point.
It's going to listen. I don't think it's too late. I don't tell anybody it's too late, because if you were to ask me, do I think at some point could Bitcoin be $1 million? I say, of course it could be.
Yeah.
Right. Certainly.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to sit here. Listen, my opinion is just my opinion. The market is a completely different animal, right? And things take time for how this whole space is going to be, evolved. And I think how we look at money and how money is represented is also going to evolve. We're not always going to look at everything in USD. Like people, always talk about like people like, oh, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Okay, but what does $1 million buy you when that happens? Does it buy you a Honda Civic? Because that doesn't sound exciting. You know what I mean? Like,
I've made that point in years past about that very point. Yes, that's exactly the scenario that will happen. Yeah, Bitcoin be at $1 million, but it'll cost you $1,000 to buy a loaf of bread.
Exactly.
So it kind of evens out a little bit.
It's definitely not too late though. It's definitely not too late to get any major cryptocurrency for sure. I wouldn't tell anyone that.
Okay, so this article, I think, did I drop this one in there yet? I think I did. I'll drop it again so you guys can check it out. But it's a pretty neat read. Basically was talking about like supply and demand and the halvings. We all know about that good old stuff regarding Bitcoin, and the next halving is actually in 2024. Okay. But they basically kind of gave us the various instances where we had parabolic moves in Bitcoin. And I do remember this one right here. I was in Bitcoin in 2013 and we had that run up. This was the Mount Gox situation. And we went to like $1,100 Bitcoin and started to come back down from there. And it took a long time for us to get back to that $1,000, $1,100 price point. And I made the analogy that this $20,000 Bitcoin is now the new $1,000 or $1,100 Bitcoin, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But this article basically, and it's pretty neat how they show it. So they show the first one, then they show the second one, which happened in, of course, we all know the 2017 move up, that run up. Yeah. And then it's showing us this move, this current one we're in 2021. And as you see, the prior ones are getting smaller and smaller. And basically, they're saying if the price of Bitcoin follows this pattern, following the previous supply halvings, the blue circle above will soon become almost as tiny as the red one. This lines up with the price predictions from many industry leaders, Citibank and Guggenheimer and JP Morgan. They're all saying like Citibank is saying 318,000. Guggenheim is saying 400 grand. JP Morgan is saying 146, and the list goes on. What's your take on this Black Money?
So, Blood, I gotta ask you a question first. So, since you were here for both parabolic moves, do you feel like this is closer to the 2017 move or the 2013 move? And if it's more like the 13 move, is this the top?
Actually, that's a good question. It's more like I look at it more like in 2013.
So wouldn't that put us at the top right now?
No. I would have to do some fit. Like there's a way for you to kind of take the prior ones and compare them to the next one, and then you can kind of get like an analysis on where the peak is on the next run up, because they're exponential. They grow bigger. The next wave sequentially grows bigger. So no, I don't think we're at the top, to be honest with you. 100,000 to me sounds like a nice area to see a top, like a major top. I think we're going to still see $20,000 Bitcoin again. We're going to test. We have to test the previous high before really going higher, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I don't think I don't want to say this time is different. It's not that. The driver of this market, and just especially given the specific state right now of the market. No, look at it. Look, retail is broke for the most part. We're in the middle. We still got a pandemic going on. There's still higher unemployment. Yeah, some people are working, some people are fortunate. But what's driving this right now, right? It's institutional buyers. We know that, right? We know that for a fact. And because they're driving it, their investment strategy is normally a longer hold, right? And they just started getting into it. They're not like getting into this. This is like a 1 to 5% move for them, if 1%, right? Mass Mutuals was like, I think somebody said like 0.4%, right? 0.4%. So my whole point is, this is a small allocation of people with a massive amount of money who are just going to hold it because they're getting this. There's a big difference between wealth accumulation and wealth preservation. And these organizations, these institutions, these high net worth people, see, in 17 and 13, it was Bitcoin's going to make me rich. But those people are like, well, I already know how to be rich. I'm already rich. I'm already successful. Why I need to buy Bitcoin? I made a tweet about this. Why am I already why do I need Bitcoin? Because I'm already rich. I'm already successful, whatever. Institution, high net worth, all those people. But what's happened over the last 3 years with especially the last 12 months, we printed 30% of all our money that we've ever printed in 1 year. And all the central banks are doing this, the pandemic, all these factors. I believe that these people have switched from a wealth accumulation to a wealth preservation. And because they see this as a wealth preservation hedge, okay, they see crypto as some sort of allocation to that. It is a sort of set and forget thing. So I don't think they're thinking about exiting anytime soon. I don't think we're anywhere near the top just because they're not done buying. They're not done positioning themselves. I think the other thing that's going on is they're still trying to figure out how they can beat Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these. Like, how do we take this over? And sooner or later, they're going to realize they can't co-opt it directly. So they're going to have to own pieces of it. So I don't like to do predictions and everything, but I don't even think 100,000, if you're talking about Bitcoin, is the top. I mean, it's possible, I keep seeing people talking about 20,000 Ethereum. That even sounds crazy to me, to be honest. But I think we don't know what institutional FOMO looks like, but I think we're going to see it. That's what I think.
That's a good point. Institutional FOMO. We did see that in 2017. See, 2013's run up was more the cool kids FOMO run up in Bitcoin. 2017 was institutionally generated through ICOs. Remember, so like the hedge funds and private money was starting to get into crypto via ICOs. That was their mechanism into crypto, and that pumped the hell out of Bitcoin and crypto, really more Ethereum than anything.
Yeah, I was going to say that was more Ethereum.
Yeah.
And
so
I don't know, man. To me, that was still the mindset. I'm convinced that when you see a mass mutual, when you see these sort of old guard traditional finance players getting into the space, they're thinking about wealth preservation. It's a different mentality, and they're thinking about like, how do I hedge? Bitcoin is just like one piece of them, or if they're doing Bitcoin plus whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's why Grayscale in 2020 went from 2 billion on January 1st to 20 billion on January 1st, a year later. They 10x, man.
Yeah, and they stopped their buying program as well.
Yeah, but I just saw today. They just bought some today. They bought $500 million today in Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Black Money?
I think we're going to go to $100,000 eventually, but I'm asking Alan. So you don't think we're going to go back to the 2023 range before we go to 100?
Now here you go, edging it up to 23. I don't think we're going to hit 20. I'll put it like that. I don't see it.
Who's
going to sell? Who's going to sell?
Again? Again?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man.
I think we got to.
Oh, we have to, bro. I'm a trader, so I'm just going to explain from a trading perspective.
Who's going to sell it? Who's going to sell it into what? See, you always got to think of every trade is two-sided, right? So what do they sell it into? The cash that's getting burned and inflated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And it's not so markets aren't rational. So they really are irrational. So it's all about fear and greed. That's what drives markets. So you will get to a point where there's fear that overtakes the greed, and you're gonna see that move back. And this is not the equities markets. There are no limit circuit breakers on the way down and up and all that manipulation. I know. Yeah. So it's gonna get wild. It happens every time, bro. At least it happened the last couple times.
If it hits 100, 80% drawdown is 20. Yeah, that makes
that's
sense.
what I'm saying, and we've seen that. We've seen it. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I just, there's a lot of variables with central banks and governments and how they treat how money is viewed. To me, is where's your next trade? To me, then it's like, all right, well, we're gonna go from Bitcoin to gold. Patrick
Jones seems to agree with you. We're never going to see.
I just don't see it.
$20,000 Bitcoin again.
Every time somebody say we're never gonna see a price, we end up seeing that price 2 times.
So yeah, exactly, bro. Like markets literally have to touch. They have to verify that price more than once. Meaning the previous high, you have to test it again. The market needs that confirmation to say, okay, boom, we're definitely.
I hear you, man.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that's what I think we're gonna see 20 again. Now, when that happens, no one knows except Crypto Damas. So I'm gonna tell you when. It's gonna happen on December. No, I don't know if it's gonna happen, after we hit 100,000 or before we hit 100,000. I don't know. That's the part I'm unsure about.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So let's talk about a non-crypto topic. We got the vaccine situation going on. Did you guys get a chance to read this article out of RT America?
What? Taking COVID? Oh, I did. I had just looked at that. Actually, somebody else posted that in another room I was in. Some bad reaction, and I've seen multiple all over the world. I think they're edge cases, and I know I ain't touching that vaccine. I know that much.
Yeah.
So
let us know in the comments if you're gonna take this vac or if you have taken it.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all.
Me either.
I just feel
I'm not
like
anti-vax either.
This we don't know anything about this. Like, okay, not knowing is a strong one. We don't know enough about this virus. The vaccine was rushed. We don't have enough trials. And until it's really required, I'm just going to keep being smart, washing my hands. I wear my mask when I go out, whatever. I'm not taking that vaccine until we got a good year's worth of data to say like this is what happens. I'm not doing it. They're reprogramming the way your body works. I'm cool, man. I don't trust it. I'm a programmer, so like when I hear about viruses and programs,
no recourse, no vaccine. I hear that, Jimmy Bags, for sure. Black Money, what's your thoughts on this? So let me just give a backdrop for everyone who's watching really quickly. So this lady, her son is pretty much documenting her this turmoil she's going through. So she essentially took this Pfizer COVID jab. I don't know what the hell a jab is, but I ain't taking no jab. I'm doing the jabbing. But this lady took this COVID jab, and it says after his mother began experiencing serious medical issues several days after taking the vaccine, shaking uncontrollably. Here's a video of her doing the Harlem Shake.
Oh man! Oh my God!
Man. Oh man!
Damn!
Yeah.
Feel bad for her.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do too, man.
God damn, man! I hate to see my mother like that.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'll have to beat Joe Biden ass.
White pick Joe Biden, not everybody.
I don't know why you going after Joe Biden.
Hey man, I gotta take my anger out on Joe Biden, man. Basement Biden. I'll beat his ass next time I see him.
Just wait a couple of months, he won't even be there.
He'll be shaking. He'll be right. So the
President Harris there.
Yeah, Kamala. So the thing is, though, there's some skepticism about this whole situation, though, because people are like, this is a scam. You're just trying to get some publicity from this. Because the one thing, the son declined to disclose which hospital his mother received the vaccine from. Why wouldn't you tell us where she received the vaccine? That to me sound a little fishy.
It is.
I don't know.
It is. See, go just like the Tether thing. If it is what it is, just tell us. Just tell us what happened.
Yeah. So he's basically saying that he didn't want the facility to become targeted by online harassment.
That's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it today. I'm not taking it 365 days from now. I'm not taking it 5 years from now.
Damn, you stronger than me.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just not for me. It was rushed. There's no. And I know a lot of times they get you all hyped up about stuff and they try to fear you into doing something.
Oh man, internet, y'all have no. Y'all don't have no heart, man.
No heart, man.
Y'all got no heart out there.
Listen,
my bad for interrupting you. That was hilarious.
He started it with the Harlem Shake, and he talking about the internet. You part of the internet.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know. But yeah,
not taking it.
You're not taking it, huh?
Nah, it's not for me. Like he said, I'm still washing my hands. I don't lick doorknobs. I'm just gonna do what I normally do.
No doorknob licking from you. So this Ryan James said a healthy doctor in Miami died after taking the jab. And whatever happened to Tiffany Dover? Who is Tiffany Dover? Let me know. I'm not sure.
That nurse that
that passed out,
who took it, and then she just like fainted like 10 minutes after.
Oh, okay. I saw Uncle Murder talk about her in the 2020 wrap. What is it called?
I'm about to look it up.
Wrap up. Year wrap up.
Since you mentioned it, let me say Uncle Murder's wrap up is the fake wrap up, and the real one is Mad Skills wrap up.
Oh,
he's been doing it for years.
I didn't know that. Did not know that. So here's my thing. I'm not taking anything that's called jab. That sounds like I'm smoking K2 or something. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I'm with you. Like, it's just not enough tests or data to show us. First of all, the virus is only a year old. So how can you have a vaccine for a virus that's only a year old? It just sounds like a cluster. It really does. So I'm not taking it, bro. I gotta wait, see how many more people Harlem Shake, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah,
I'm not. He's back to the Harlem Shake.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I think it's unfortunate. Some people, like, fortunately for me, I get to work from home, and I don't really live around people, so don't really have to go around people, get stuff delivered. But if you have to go somewhere and go to work, and it's a risk, and you might have to feel like you got to take the virus. I don't know.
Black Money, John Hill, my guy John Hill said Mad Skills wrap up is whack though.
It's the first one though.
What you gotta say about that?
I would say to anybody who says anything after something is better, when Mad Skills originated the concept, then of course the next person is supposed to be better. But also, I don't think it's better. I just think it's two different flavors of the whole situation. But I always give props to the originator. Just like Alan was saying earlier, we always give props to Bitcoin. No matter what comes after, that's better.
I hear that. So shout out to Nathaniel Singleton, because he's right. I had COVID back in March, and it does actually make you hallucinate. So
really?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I know more than one person that's gone through that, and it was crazy. So
does it seem like there's a plan? Like, once we get to this many vaccinated, then the world will start to be the same. It just seems like just saying take the vaccine, and then
Nacho Food says no jab, no job coming.
Well, yeah, and that's part of it. But fortunately, some people, if they work from home, the concern will be you can't get on a plane, you can't go to an amusement park, you can't go to the movies, you may not even be able to go to a store. So eventually, remember, we got the whole private business. So a private business can do what they want. So some private businesses are at a certain point. Here's an example. The media is like, oh, like 60% of the population is got the vaccine, and we're going to ignore the 2 to 3% that maybe can't walk or might have are jacked up. We'll just focus on this, and then that gives private businesses the leverage to start turning around and saying, oh, you can't come onto our property, whether it's a plane, a restaurant, amusement park, whatever, unless you're vaccinated. Show me your vaccination card. Like, that's going to happen. That's for sure going to happen. And we've set it up to happen because, you know, we give private business, and I'm not trying to get into the whole politics of it. Private businesses absolute power for those sort of things, you know. So
LMC, explain to us why you say it's not a vaccine. I would love to know what your thoughts are on that.
As far as people not coming in markets and stuff like that, they still let Amish come and shop, and they don't have vaccines. I feel like there's no reason to turn away a person for religious beliefs not to. I should be able to come into your business, even though I'm taking upon myself not to be vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, why would you even matter? Why would it even matter that I'm not vaccinated?
That's the anti-vaxxer thing, right? The whole thing with like why, you know, they had a concern for autism and kids getting vaccinated for. That's that whole argument. Like I've gotten all the vaccines you're supposed to get as a kid. You know,
yes,
I don't think I've ever taken a flu vaccine because I don't generally get sick. But you know,
that's why you're so crazy, man. That's why you think so crazily, because you took the vaccines as growing up as a kid, thinking that Bitcoin is not is a collectible. It's NFT now. I don't know what the hell.
Nice NFT. You know what's going to happen?
Black money. What is going on with this guy?
It's going to be on Ethereum, and it's going to get wrapped, and then it's going to get turned into an NFT, and they're just going to start trading them like cards. That's what's going to happen. I'm joking.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm joking, man.
You heard it here first. So yeah, man, I don't know, guys. Let us know what your thoughts are on this vaccine. Again, I'm not taking it. I'm not an anti-vax person either. So it's not like I'm a conspiracy. I'm not, you know, Alex Jones, Bilderberg, Illuminati, Trilateral Commission. That's not me. I'm just saying. It's too soon, too early for me to dive into that, or even have my wife or kids get it. So I ain't doing it, man. Yeah, so it's been a great time with you guys on tonight. I wish my man Mike could have joined us and Rice Crypto. But where can they find you guys the best on the internet?
Go for it, Alan.
Oh yeah, so on Twitter, Real Alan Hana, ALLENHENA, right there with the crypto punk picture.
That looks just like you, man.
You can follow me on there. I will say that I'm going to start my podcast back up very soon.
Oh, you had a podcast? Okay.
Yeah, I had a podcast. I stopped doing it, but because of everything that's going on and getting some motivation for some other people, I'm going to call it Digital Assets, Not Bitcoin. That's going to be the name of the podcast. Digital Assets, Not Bitcoin. You know, they say blockchain, not Bitcoin, or Bitcoin, blockchain, all that. You know, Digital Assets, Not Bitcoin is going to be what it's called. So, you know, we'll see if I put out an episode by the time we get on again. But I'll have you on there at some point.
For sure. How did you and I never got the chance to ask you this. How did you and Mike meet?
Like I started just randomly watching Mike, you know, just on YouTube, and it was watching him for like several months. And then they started talking about crypto, and there was just so many misinformed people just saying, you know, they're a big gold, you know, they love the gold.
Man, listen, if you guys want to hear the funniest conversations, especially around crypto, go over there, get your popcorn out, and go over to Mike Rethinking the Dollar and check his audience. Not necessarily Mike, it's his audience, man.
His audience,
hilarious, bro.
So I would be in the you know, he do the live stream and I'm commenting. So I just emailed him like, look, there's a lot of misinformed people on, like, you know, nothing against you, but like you said, it's not Mike. There's just let me come on there one time and we can talk through. I'm not trying to sell a coin, but they're such gold bugs or precious metals people, you know, or rock people as I call them. And, you know, that they just needed some education and some information on crypto. And that's all that happened.
Gotcha. My man, Black Money, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter. Okay.
On Twitter, BLK Money, DOTCOM. So it's blackmoney.com, and on YouTube, Black Money.
All right.
Hold on, it's at blackmoney.com. Okay.
Yes, sir. So yeah, appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And again, don't forget, check out my Twitter for more details on how you can win 2021 Wax tokens. And 2 lucky winners will also win some of EOS's stash of exclusive NFTs. So check us out. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. That's pretty much it, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
All right.
Share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I guess we out of here.
Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, people.
Yeah, thanks always, man.
All right.